It was 10 o'clock at night when he stood outside the prison of La Force. The woodcutter was just closing the shop. Carton greeted him and continued his walk through the street until he came across an open chemist's shop. He went in and laid a piece of paper on the counter. The chemist looked at it, stunned, but went to prepare the two prescribed packets. So it was 10 o'clock at night when the Carton stood at the prison of La Force. He stood outside at the prison of La Force, and he also met the woodcutter, and woodcutter also greeted him in return. And after that he reached to a chemist shop, and he had placed a paper in front of the chemist, and chemist prepared two separate prescribed packets written on the paper. You must be careful to keep them separate, sir. Do you know what will happen if you will mix them? Perfectly. So the chemist he instructed Sydney Carton to keep both the packets separate. Sydney did not feel like sleeping that night. Instead, he walked along the Seine, and as the dawn came up, the words on his father's gravestone arose in his mind. I am resurrection and life, said the Lord. He that believes in me shall never die. So Sydney Carton, he was not feeling like sleeping that night, so he walked throughout the night. And the words written on the gravestone of his father was again and again coming to his mind. What was written there? It was written there, God has written that those who believe in God, the people never die. They take the rebirth and came back in other form. Some words rang over and over again in his mind, and he watched the city awake. When the glorious sun rose above the Paris skyline, he had some bread and coffee and went to Charles' trial. So some words are there that are ringing over and over again in Sydney Carton's mind. On that night he saw how the dawn occurs, and when the day started, he took some bread and coffee and went to Charles' trial. Mr. Lorry and Dr. Manette was already sitting in front of the courtroom with Lucy between them. Carton sat alone in a corner hidden by the crowd. The president addressed the court when Charles was brought in. So Mr. Lorry and Dr. Manette was already there for the trial of Charles Darnay, and Lucy is also there. Carton sat separately, and the president addressed the court when the Charles was brought inside the courtroom. Was he accused openly? Openly, Mr. President. By whom? Now the president of the court asked that who accused this prisoner? Ernest Defarge, cafe owner in St. Anthony, Ma'am Defarge, his wife, Good, and Alexander Manette, doctor. So the prosecutor has taken the name of three persons who have accused the prisoner: M. Defarge, Ma'am Defarge, and Dr. Manette. At these words, the Dr. Manette went pale and stood up. Mr. President, I protest. There must be a mistake. The accused is my son-in-law. When Dr. Manette he heard his own name among the people who put charges against Charles Darnay, then he went pale and he raised objection that how can I report against him? He is my son-in-law. The president looked stonily at Dr. Manette. If the republic should ask you to sacrifice your child, you must do so. So the president, he was looking angrily at Dr. Manet, that if country wants your child sacrifice, you should do that. Defarge came forward with a piece of paper in his hand. This account was found in cell 105 North Tower on the day we attacked the Bastille and freed the prisoners. It was written by a doctor during his 18-year confinement there. Officer of the court, please read the account. The officer came to stand and start reading. Yes, so Defarge, he came forward and he handed over a piece of paper to the president. He said this paper was found from 105 North Tower. They found when they attacked Bastille prison in order to free the prisoners. So the doctor has written that note when he was in the prison for 18 years. So the officer, one of the officers from the court, had got order from the president to read that account loudly. I, Alexander Manet, doctor, write this sad testimony in my gloomy cell in the Bastille during the last month of the year 1767. I write it under great difficulty and plan to hide it in the chimney. Some pitying hand may find it there when I and my sorrows are gone. So the letter was written by Alexander Manet. So it was written that I am writing this sad testimony, that letter, in my prison cell at Bastille. The year is 1767 and I am feeling very difficult to write it, and I have written all the things here in the letter and I am hiding it in a chimney. On the 22nd December 1757, I was returning home from seeing a patient when a carriage stopped and two young gentlemen got out, saying I was required urgently. They gave me no choice but to accompany them. So Dr. Sir started narrating the episode, that it was the episode of 22nd December 1757. When the doctor was returning home, suddenly two gentlemen stopped him and they took doctor along with them. I was taken to a poor house in a village and shown to a room where a beautiful young woman was lying on a bed in great pain, her eyes rolling in her head. She kept repeating over and over, my husband, my father, my brother, and would then count to 12. I examined her carefully, but could see that her pain was in her mind, not her body. I did my best to calm her, but it was hopeless. So next doctor has given the description of a poor house where a lady was there who was in a very bad condition. She was in pain, and but the doctor said the pain was more than physical, it was mental pain. She was continuously saying my husband, my father, my brother, and doctor said I tried my level best in order to calm that lady, but all the hopes were dashed to the ground. After some time, one of the young gentlemen told me there was another patient who needed my attention. I was taken to another room where a young man, not more than 17 years old, was lying on a bed of straw. He was grasping his chest tightly, and I could see that a sword had left a deadly wound there. So after some time, the two young men who brought the doctor there, they said, one more patient is there, you have to see that also. So doctor said I was taken to another room. A young man about 17 years old, he was lying on a bed of straw and he was wounded badly. It appears that somebody had attacked on him with sword.